Hey all, how's it going? I hope everybody is staying safe and finding some time to read a book. This week I have a very different kind of a reading experience to share with you all because last week I was kind of broken after reading a Malayalam novel, my first Malayalam novel, M. Mugundan's Mayeripurira Theerangalil, and I was looking for a light read after that novel, and that's exactly when one of my friends, Antrik, who is a YouTube travel vlogger, tagged me in a comment of an author's post of a new book release, and that's how I came to know about this guy on his own trip. So this book is authored by this traveler, Neeraj Narayanan, who hails from Kerala. And this book is not written in a novel kind of a format, it's more of a memoir kind of a format where we jumps from a place to another place in each chapters and from one adventure to another. To be very honest, I went into this book with very low expectations because a new author and about travel, because I was like, what more can I read about travel that I haven't already read, because I've already read a couple of good travel books and I myself love traveling, so I keep myself updated with travel blogs and travel experiences. So I was not expecting anything new and I went in with very low expectations. But right from the first page, this book connected me like no other travel book has ever did, because his experiences were, like, at least in the initial pages, were very similar to the experiences that I had when I decided to take a break and travel for 2 months solo across India. I had very similar experiences, be it with couch surfers and hostels. So this book starts from right from the first solo trip that Neeraj decides to take, that is to Goa, a short solo trip, to basically find out if solo trip is something that he would enjoy. Throughout the book, through Neeraj, you are able to find the true meaning of travel, what travel should be, and this is an idea that I subscribe to because I'm a big fan of Rolf Potts and his book Vagabonding. So that is where I first fell in love with the idea of traveling, the idea of solo backpacking or backpacking in general, living in hostels, meeting new people. So this book will definitely challenge some of your perspectives of traveling, because most of us have the touristy kind of approach to travel, where we go to a place, see the most important place in the place, and just to tick the places off your bucket list. But that is not what travel is about. Travel is about, like Neeraj's experience, going to a hostel and simply talking to the people there, simply sipping coffee and whiling away an evening, simply talking to people, not going anywhere, taking a long walk without a destination. And that's when travel truly becomes magical, breaking the barriers, inhibitions and fears that you have instilled in you from so many years of social conditioning. And it's really hard to break those, let alone face it when you're living a normal day-to-day desk job. It's only possible when you set out in the open, when you're free to do anything, when you're not bound by deadlines, that you actually face those fears, and when you actually try to come over them. And one another reason why I fell in love with this book is that his writing style. He only sticks to some interesting people and some adventures which he feels were the highlights of his trip, which makes this an interesting read throughout. And I've also highlighted a couple of quotes and instances from the book which I'd like to go back in the future. Out of that, one of my favorite portions is where he's back to Delhi after a couple of travels, and he's playing with the idea of becoming a full-time traveler, or should he go back to his job because he's short on money. And that's when he says he wanted to enter a bookstore and see if the books smell the same everywhere. This is something that might come out as very weird for people who doesn't understand the passion of traveling or understand the passion of reading books. Now, this is something that I always do, because whenever I visit a place, I usually check out the bookstores in the local markets there and try to at least browse through the books, even if I don't buy them, because it's a different feeling. And to actually see your favorite books in different parts of the world in different bookstores is a feeling of its own. If you have ever played around the idea of traveling with a rucksack behind solo or with your friends, definitely give this book a read, along with Rolf Potts' Vagabonding. And if you don't love to travel, still pick it up, because it'll be a good escape from what's happening all around us right now.